Okay, great. So I am back. Thank y'all for those of y'all who been patient with me, and hopefully you get on the right broadcast here because it looks like we were doing a little craziness over here. I thank you all over here on Periscope for being patient with me. This is Pastor Dr. Kisha Coleman. I'm your book publishing coach and self-publishing servicer. So listen, go ahead. If you were on Facebook before, get back on Facebook because we're live over there once again, but we're on the right platform. We're on the right broadcast. Actually, I was on the test broadcast before, and that is not the broadcast that I meant to be on. But we're glad to be on tonight, and we're bringing this book publishing empowerment to you. I want to go ahead and bring in this awesome author. We want to get her on here and have her come up and just begin to kind of talk to us a little bit here. And so there's Carla. Hello, Carla Boston. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Kissa?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Listen, I'm so glad to have you on tonight. You know, Carla, I really enjoyed our experience working with you. I appreciate you even reaching out to me and asking me about doing your book. And so we want to get into this just a little bit here in a moment. I hear a little feedback. So if there is broadcast that you have on there on another device, we're probably going to need you to mute it because it's going to interfere with this device. So we hear a little echo that's coming in. I believe it might be coming from feedback that we're getting from this particular broadcast projecting somewhere else. So if we could go ahead and try to work with that, that would be great. But we got an exciting time in store for you. I can't wait to get into talking about this book. But before we do, listen, if you're interested in publishing a book, you definitely want to make sure that you go ahead and check us out because we have a lot of free resources that are going to be a blessing to you. So if you go to KishKnows.com/publishing list, you will be able to sign up for my publishing list and you'll get some free resources as it relates to publishing your book, information about writing, the writing process, how to write, finish, and publish your book. That is a webinar series that I actually have that's out there. I got some blueprints that you can work from. There's a lot of great information and free resources that are there. And then, of course, if you're interested in finding out about our services, you can reach out to us that way as well. But listen, without further ado, come on, Carla, let's talk a little bit about you because this is the woman, our featured author for this week. As a matter of fact, this month, before we close out the month, we're looking forward to her talking to us now about this awesome book. But let's talk a little bit about you first, Carla.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do, and how did you come about this whole writing thing? You know, writing, that's a craft. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm a mother. I have 4 young kings. And I'm also a licensed cosmetologist and a licensed medical assistant and phlebotomist. I love to write. Writing has always been my passion. And I also enjoy helping other people.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now, when did you know that you wanted to write, or when did you have this desire to write, or was this like just something that just came all of a sudden?
Well, actually, I discovered that I love to write. I think I was maybe in 2nd or 3rd grade when I took penmanship for the first time. You know, I always, after I learned how to write correctly and write in cursive, I always found myself writing and scribbling and doodling all the time and going back and reading what I wrote. So I've always really had a passion for writing, even at a young age.
Now, you mentioned something that's a bit antiquated. You mentioned cursive writing. They don't teach that in school anymore. I I think that's a craft in and of itself. I have one of my kids that's still here left at home, and she's one of our teenagers. She knows how to cursive write, but the other two, I was trying to get them to learn how on my own because they don't teach it in school anymore, and I think it's just a beautiful thing. But they've kind of took that
Gotten out of
out.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I know at that age you were just beginning to really, really kind of have this desire to write. So now this book that you've written, I absolutely love it because this is actually the now word for right now. And I am, because he is the great I am. And so this is a book of I am confessions. Talk to us a little
Yes.
bit about how this came into being. And then I want to get into some of these I am confessions and talk about why it's so important for us to be able to communicate and verbalize this type of information into the atmosphere.
Sure. Well, I was actually born and raised in the church. My parents took me to church a lot. And then I also went to Catholic school. So I had to go to Mass and communion, and it was confession. I was always in church. But I believe I discovered my relationship with the Lord through the reading of his word. I believe everything begins with a word. It starts with a word. The world was
Yes.
shaped and formed with the word and then became flesh and it dwells among us. That's the word. So it was really the reading of the scriptures and studying the word of God that ushered me into a relationship with the Lord. And that's the place that I discovered who I am. So that's why I can say I am because he is, because I've discovered some things about him. And in the same time, I've discovered a lot about myself.
Amen. I believe the more you really get to know God and have a relationship with God, the more you can get to know yourself. And I
Yes,
love it because
definitely.
look, I am because he is the great I am. The Bible talks about greater is he that's in me than he that's in
Yes,
the world. And so when you really realize the greatness of God and your connection with God, I mean, it makes you just this powerful being where you feel like you can conquer anything. And
yes,
so these I am confessions, I love what you said. You said everything begins with a word. It starts with the word, anything. And I think that is so powerful. That's really like a tweetable moment right there. Everything begins with the
amen.
word. And
It
that's
does.
exactly right. The universe began with the word. Creation began with the word. Wars begin with words, right? And so that's
Yes,
powerful. So talk to us about these words that's in this book and why is this so powerful? I have my book here. I don't know if you have your book, but you're on the big screen. If
I
you do,
do.
go ahead and
Yes,
show that beautiful book. Let's
I
look at that
have
beautiful
it.
book. All
Yes,
right. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Y'all see that beautiful book of this beautiful African queen, and she's in the hands of an awesome God, and you see that confidence that she's portraying. Talk to us a little bit about that, and then the subtitle and who you wrote the book for.
I wrote the book first and foremost for me.
Oh,
I
good.
wrote it for me, and then I wrote it for every other woman that looks like me, every girl that looks like me. Even though we're different colors, shapes, sizes, we're all still women. We're the same gender. So although we look different, we're the same.
Right.
So I am, because I am the great I am, was inspired from first and foremost my relationship with the Lord and me having a desire to let every other girl or woman know that they are something special in God and that they're powerful in God. Now, the scriptures in the book is what inspired me to write the decrees. The scriptures line up with the decrees. So in the word, it says life and death is in the power of the tongue. So we are what we say we are. We are what we think we are. And like I said in the beginning, everything starts with the word. In the beginning, I believe the devil, we're going to talk about the devil for a minute. He influenced Eve with words.
Yes. Absolutely.
And from that word, she thought something. And then that word became flesh and dwelled among the garden, the presence of God. And that's the same thing that's happening today. So if I can reach out to at least one woman about watching what they say and what they think and how they feel, and encourage them to speak words of life instead of words that bring death, then what I've done is effective.
Oh, I love it, Carla. That's it. That is so powerful. That is such a wonderful niche. And I'm sure you know many people just like I do, many women just like I do, who you can really, really minister to in this area because we create our own personal world by the words that come out of our mouth. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. So let's get into this a little bit. I know I'm not going to give the whole book away, but this is a powerful book. And I don't want y'all to just think it's just decrees and scriptures, but we're really giving you some thought-provoking things to do here in this book, and to really just feel your spirit and your soul. What are some of your favorite decrees?
I am my sister's keeper. Iron sharpens iron, and I am my sister's keeper. And I'm
I,
going to tell you why. Because it's so important for us to stick together. We can do so much more together than we can do separate. And in these days and times, it's so much going on in the world. We got to hold each other up.
yes.
We got to. It's a lot of division. It's a lot of fear. It's a lot of hate, jealousy. It's so many things that women deal with. And there's a lot of reasons why we deal with it, because of low self-esteem, rejection, us not feeling like we're beautiful or accepted. So me being my sister's keeper is huge. So that's my favorite decree in there. I am my sister's keeper.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So now, of course, the book title is I Am Because He's the Great I Am. Let me show y'all this on Periscope so y'all can see how beautiful this book is. Isn't that beautiful? That beautiful black queen, that princess, that confident woman. Yeah, you show it over there on Facebook. She's in the hands of God, and we see that light coming out. And then the subtitle, Spirit-Filled and Inspirational Decrees to Awaken,
Yeah.
Empower, and motivate girls and women from all walks of life. I love it. And I'm telling you, our women, our girls need to be awakened, need to be empowered, need to be motivated to
Yes.
understand who they are. Tell me about the little girl. Tell me about the young woman that you see reading this book and why it's so very important for them to have this type of revelation.
The little girl, I believe it will be like a journey of discovery. Where
Yes.
she'll discover first and foremost how much God loves her, how much the universe. I mean, in these days and times, people, they don't want to say God, they want to say something else, whether it's God, the universe, the higher power, Father, Lord, Christ, Almighty, the Holy One. He's all one and the same. So for a little girl to read even my story, and then the first few pages, they'll quickly discover how much God, the universe, loves them and cares for them with a deep love that no thing in this world could take away from them.
So now I like this in Ephesians 3:17 says, then Christ will make his home in your hearts as
Yes.
you trust in him. Your roots will grow down into God's love and keep you strong. And so this I am confession is I am rooted and grounded in love. And I think that is so essential. That is so key that young women, that young girls understand how much they are loved. So,
Yes.
Carla, do you mind talking to us a little bit tonight about your upbringing, about the circumstances that surrounded your life as a child, and you had a unique situation that was going on there, and then how you experienced God's love, and how it's important for young girls to experience that love and the connection with God at a young age?
So my mom, she passed away when I was 18 months old. And my uncles and aunts, they kind of tag team and they raised me. They took turns raising me. My oldest aunt, her name is Anita, and my uncle George, they had me most of the time. I was the only girl in the house, so I was spoiled, of course. But they showed me so much love and attention and support. They raised me like I was their own daughter. Well, I was the only girl, so I was the girl that my aunt didn't have. So she just took me in and embraced me. And like I said, she kept me in church. Even when my cousins didn't go to church, I was always at church. I'm glad she did that, though. I'm really glad, because that was the cornerstone and, the opening up of me having a real relationship with the Lord. So I can really appreciate something like that.
And so it's very important that girls at a young age are able to make that connection with God and to really experience true love. And I think it'll keep, oftentimes, not all the time, but it will keep you from venturing off into all this other false love that that puppy love and that love that really kind of mess you up before you really know what real love is, right?
Right,
And
right.
I am rooted and grounded in love. And I absolutely love that. When we can have a young lady, a young girl who is not experiencing or feeling the love that she feels that she needs to experience, but as she's making that confession on a daily basis, or this is one of her confessions, and this is like one of the day 4 confessions, as she's making that confession, it just begins to create her world, because your life goes in the direction of the words that you speak. And so as she's
Yeah.
saying, I am rooted and grounded in love, what a tremendous a blessing that she's bringing into her own life. Listen, Carla, I want you to talk to us. We got a lot of things we want to cover tonight, but tell us, because right now there may be somebody who wants to get this book right away. Tell us a little bit about that. Let's kind of take a little information from you, how they can find out more about your book. I know it's out there in on Amazon and other places, but if they
Yeah.
get it from you, I believe there might be some extra bonuses and blessings you have for them. So talk to us
Yes,
a little about that.
I have a small gift to give to every woman or girl that purchased the book directly from me. I can be inboxed on Facebook. My Facebook name is Carla Kusi. And I'm also on Instagram as Apostle Carla Boston. I'm on Instagram because I am a ordained apostle. And also my email, peacecoolcarla@yahoo.com. Those are the different ways to contact me directly to get the book from me. I take Cash App or Zelle, and I mail the book to you with the gift, along with the gift. If you order on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles, you'll get the book, of course, but you won't get the gift. So I prefer for everyone to reach out to me and get the book directly from me.
All right, that sounds great. So tell us some more of your favorite confessions and some of the ones that you find yourself doing often. Often, I love the "I am my sister's keeper," and I'm telling you, if all of us would do that, we would have so much more peace in the world and in our lives if we would be our sister and brother's keeper. Amen.
Yes. But another one that I like is Decree 5. And I pray for this quite often.
Okay.
It's Decree 5, and it states Luke 2:52. Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and all the people. We know the word says wisdom is the principal thing. It's wisdom that builds. Wisdom builds us up as a person, as an individual. And the decree that I share with it is, I am a woman who is growing in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. And I break it down as a multiplication problem, because it is multiplication. Because as you grow in wisdom and in knowledge, wisdom is knowledge applied. So as you begin to know more about the Lord, you find out more about yourself, and then you apply what you know, and then you build on that. It's like building blocks. And then you grow in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. Favor is advantage over the world system. When
Oh,
you
wow.
have a relationship with the Lord, you have favor with him. And even back to me and my upbringing, because I didn't have my mom, my birth mom, or I wasn't raised with my dad, I feel like the Lord just really came in and showed his love. I know he doesn't show favoritism, but God will make you feel like you're his favorite. That's how deep his love is for his daughters.
That's
So
awesome.
that's one of my favorite decrees, growing in wisdom and in stature with favor and favor with God and man.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. So now let's talk a little bit about how long it took you to write this book. How did you even find the time?
Well, to be honest, it only took me a few days to write the decrees, but it was a rough time in my life. And I'm a studier of the word. So it took me actually 2 days to write the decrees, but it took me maybe 5 or 10 years to sit and write it. It had been in my spirit and in my mind for so long. And I believe I was just running from doing it. Sometimes, laziness to sit in, the cares of this world will distract you. But I always knew I was going to have to write books. I was told years ago I was going to write books. So it took me 2 days to write the book.
And so, but it was in process, you said about 5 years.
Yes.
Isn't that something? That process is what gets us, right?
Yep.
Process. And
Yeah.
so you began to write it. So tell us a little bit about you. There's some other things that I think you've written, and there's some other books that you have coming forth or that you have in your spirit. What are some tips that you would give to those who are really looking to publish what's in their spirit and what's in their heart, but they can't seem to find the time or the discipline to just go ahead and do it? You mentioned the reason why you were able to just take those 2 days and write all those decrees is because you were going through a rough time. So there was like something that was motivating you. So how can our other audience, our other writers or people who aspire to be authors, how can they get that motivation they need to just go ahead and finally do it? Do it.
Well, first, if it's their passion, they got to determine if it's something that they're passionate about. And then from there, I believe you make time for what you want. You make time for what you're hungry for. You'll make time. You won't make excuses. You'll make time. So a little bit of time management is important. Just taking out maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of your day and writing, just write. Some people get writer's block and things like that. But prayer is so important. Surrounding yourself with other people, that are doing the same thing, even when you're feeling weak and you don't want to do it. That's when the whole "I'm my sister's keeper" comes in. You got to have somebody that'll keep you encouraged and push you. We need some pushers around us too, to push us to do what we're passionate about.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So now, so far now, you just literally, the book just got in your hands just, a matter of a week or two ago. And so how has this entire experience, not just the fact that finally the book is published and it's out there and you're ready to go ahead and really get into hands of more and more people, but how has this experience changed your life, just knowing that I am a published author for real?
I'm really excited. I'm really proud of myself, to be honest. It took me so long. I'm like, wow, why did it take me so long to do something like this? I'm humbled as well. It's a humbling experience. And I believe it has also grown me up a little bit in faith, because I struggle with being shy and, not wanting to be seen or heard. So this is kind of pushing me to be more out in the open.
Very good. Very good. I love it. And so you said that it's really kind of pushing you. And one of the things I tell people is once you get that first book out, it's just like having your first baby. That for the most part, it gets easier after that. Come on,
Right.
you've gone through this and now you know what to do, and it's really much easier every baby, every book afterwards. And so just getting that first book out, and so I'm sure you're like, man, I could have did this a long time ago, but
Right.
now is the time that you're doing it. Listen, I want to come back in just a couple of minutes. We want to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with Carla in just a moment, but let's go ahead and get ready just to have a little commercial break here. And so if y'all just give us a moment here, we'll be right back after these brief words.
I don't know how to do this. I know I got a story. I know I got something to say. I know it's going to be great if I ever get into the hands of the right people. But I don't know how to do this. And I am so glad for people like Dr. Kitcha Coleman. My God, she took away all of the stress.
That is what makes KishKnows powerful. Because especially me being a first-time author, I don't feel blind. I don't feel alone. If there's ever a question that I have regarding this publishing process, any question I have, Pastor Keisha is available. She makes her.
All right, all right. So we are back, and I am excited to bring on in just a few minutes. Carla is going to be back with us. And so we got some exciting people that are on with us on tonight. So we just want to take a moment to just kind of acknowledge you all, some of y'all. Thank y'all for those of y'all over here on Periscope, and you're standing strong. And even though you don't get to see all the fancy things that are going on, I'm just trying to straighten my camera up over here. You don't get to see all the fancy things that are going on Facebook. You're just so faithful, and I thank you. And so hello to Sonia. Uh, you're back for a few seconds on tonight, Sonia said, and last night was so awesome. Well, I'm so glad that Sonia is one of our blog writers, you all. I want you to take an opportunity to go to KishKnows.com, and you can see our awesome blogs that are released once, sometimes twice a week by our blog writers. We have about 8 blog writers that write for us. And I'm telling you, we're helping them with the writing experience to enhance their writing experience. And it's a beautiful thing. Listen, we have this wonderful, awesome woman of God here, Sine. She's here, and that happens to be a relative of mine, my first cousin. It's so good to see you, cousin. And then one of her best friends is Carla. As a matter of fact, that's kind of how I met Carla, I believe. I don't know. It was such a long time ago, but we have mutual people that we know. And of course, my cousin is one of her best friends. And so we're so glad that Sine is on with us on tonight. So I want to go ahead and get ready and bring Carla back on. And we got some more good stuff we're going to talk to her about. So let's get her up on our screen here. All right, there we have it. Have her. She's back, everybody. So let's talk a little bit about the impact the book has had on other people. Let's talk about that a little bit. So talk to me about some of the feedback. I know you've had rave reviews and people just talking about it in your area of business, but go ahead and tell us some of the things you're doing. You're just getting started, but I already know feedback. So talk to us a little bit about that impact.
Sure. I had one young woman who read the book, and she said it strengthened her prayer life. It opened her up to knowing how much God really loves her despite the mistakes and flaws. it encouraged her and her family to come together and pray more, study the word more. I had another young lady who told me it's helping her along the way with her spiritual walk with the Lord. I've had another young woman tell me that the book has really encouraged her to study the word more and to watch what she says and to kind of combat the negative thoughts and negative thinking with the word of God and with the decrees. Because we know what the word says. If you decree a thing, it shall be established. So it helped another young woman build her faith in God, and even believing in herself more, that she can do, all things through Christ, which is one of the decrees as well.
Right.
Maybe
You brought up something that I really like. You talked about how it strengthened this young lady in her prayer life. And when I look at this, I think about, if someone has a hard time praying, sometimes people lose words and they're like, I don't know what to pray. And, I've heard one person say, they were going to pray and they wanted to pray for 15 minutes. But after 3 minutes, they had prayed for everybody they knew, everything they knew to pray. They didn't know what else to say. But if you go through this book, this will tremendously strengthen your prayer life, because not only do you have dozens, literally guys, dozens of decrees in here, but you have the scriptures to back them up. And so you're praying the word and you're speaking over your own life. And that's prayer. You're activating things in your life. And so that's one of the things I think is so powerful, that this is a tremendous prayer tool. This is a tremendous prayer tool. I can see people literally taking this and strengthening their prayer life with this particular book. So I definitely see that, as that young woman has mentioned that. Now, Carla, this book is especially for girls and women. Again, it's I Am Because He Is the Great I Am. You can see it here. You hold it up on Facebook. I'll hold it up here on Periscope. Y'all see this beautiful book here. Just an awesome professional quality book. It's available wherever books are sold, practically online. And then, of course, we're going to be looking forward to getting into some of these brick and mortar stores as well. But if you are definitely looking to strengthen your prayer life, this is a tremendous tool. And so I Am Because He Is the Great I Am, spirit-filled and inspirational decrees to awaken, empower, and motivate girls and women from all walks of life. So now, this is for girls and women from all walks of life. Tell me a little bit about that, because one of your favorite decrees is you are your sister's keeper. So it seems like that's really, really where your heartbeat and passion is. And so do you have any other tools and resources that you foresee coming out that can really be a blessing to women and girls in the near future?
For me specifically, I do have some speaking engagements and some women's conferences to go to. As a matter of fact, I have one coming up next weekend in Hammond, Indiana, where I'll be at for 3 days with my book, and it's a women's conference. I also am doing a book release at my church. God's End Time Church is in Inglewood. I got a few things coming up and I want to start setting up little small cell groups, like inviting just a few women out together to talk about the book, to read the scriptures, to fellowship, and just get to know each other in God. Because women need to be strengthened. We need to be built up. We need to unlearn some things. Some things we've learned, religious habits, bad habits, some stinking thinking, I call it. And we need to unlearn some things and relearn. So if women can come together more and lean on each other more, we can gain strength. The word says we are to strengthen our brethren. We are to even bear the infirmities of the weaker saints, or I would say weaker women. So we gain strength from each other. So that's what I have planned, just bringing people together. I have this gift of gathering women, gathering people. I'm even the one that gathers my family every year for family holidays and family reunions and things like that. So I plan on gathering women in the upcoming months.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. And you all can see Carla's information there, peacecoolcarla@yahoo.com. If you want to find out more about her ministry endeavors that are coming up, she mentioned that she has a speaking engagement, that she's going to be at a 3-day conference in Hammond, Indiana. So you can get those details from her. If she wants to, of course, communicate that, she can on tonight's broadcast. But we have her email address up here for those of y'all on Periscope. It is peace, as in peace be with you. Peace, peace cool, Carla. Peace cool, as in she's a cool woman. Peace cool, Carla at yahoo.com. And you can reach her that way. And then go ahead and send her a friend request and get to know her a little bit through her Facebook pages. Carla Cool C. Carla Cool and the letter C on Facebook. And then, of course, on Instagram, she mentioned it's Apostle Carla Boston on Instagram. So those are ways that you can connect with her. And then talk to us a little bit about now, how has having a coach, a book coach, and utilizing our services at KishKnows, how has that helped you through this process?
Kisha, you have been amazing. You have been a great encourager. When I first connected with you and you read through my decrees and you mentioned how you thought it was amazing and it kind of encouraged you as well, that was really a blessing for me. You're very informative. You're very helpful. I don't think I would have been able to do it without you, because I did reach out to other publishing companies, and not only were they a little too expensive for me, but they didn't seem helpful. Like they didn't believe in me. See, I felt like you believed in me. You believed in the book. You believed in the words that were in the book. And that was like a big encouragement for me, a big help for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Your ideas, your insight, it helped me out a lot.
Wow, I had never heard you say that. I didn't know that. I think you may have mentioned before in the beginning that you had reached out to other publishers, but I didn't know you felt that way. I know that we believe that everyone has a book in them. I seriously believe that, but it's a matter of just having the right person to come along and coach you and really get what's on the inside of you out, because everybody has a story to tell. They just need someone to help them tell that story. So talk to us a little bit about, I can't remember who your editor was. Was it Cindy? Was Cindy your editor? Or
yeah, it was Cindy.
Okay, Cindy was your editor. Okay, so I have a team of people who helped me do this. So how is your process with that flow with her and working with some of the people on our team? You don't get to really work with everybody as far as, we don't want to overwhelm our authors by having too many people that they have to deal with. But mainly the author will deal with the project manager and a main editor. And then we have other people like a designer and other people that are on their particular project. But how did that go for you? How, was that helpful? Or talk to us a little bit about that process.
It was very helpful. And she kept me in the loop about everything. She communicated with me often. She kept me updated about everything. I didn't have a problem. It was smooth. It went smooth with Cindy. It did.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah. And her ideas, as far as like editing the book, her ideas were welcoming. I just approved everything that she had awesome ideas.
Yes. I really like Cindy. She's been with me for a while, and so I appreciate what she brings to the table. And so, listen, looks like we have some feedback over here. Ralph in Hannah Faso. Hannah, that's probably Hannah over there. And she says, I will look for the book. All right, Hannah. They're out of California, Carla. So I think she's going to go on Amazon and look for the book. Look, she's showing it to you, Hannah. There it is. That's right. Show it. Let's plug it over here.
Reach out to me on Facebook, or reach out to me, inbox me. I would love to mail you the book.
Yes. Let's
with
see.
the beautiful gift.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let me put your information up there on Facebook because Hannah's on Facebook. There we go. So that's how you can find Carla on Facebook. So talk to us about these other books that might be in your spirit, Carla. What's some other books you think you'll be working on in the near future and be a blessing to us? How are you going to bless us with your next project?
The next book is entitled Stifled by Fear.
All right.
A lot of my books will probably be a short read because of the attention span today. It's a lot going on.
Yes.
People don't have a lot of time. So I believe a lot of my books will be a short read because I would like for people to really read the whole book, not get through half the book and then put it down. So a lot of my books will be short, quick, and powerful. The next book, Stifled by Fear, is pretty much breaking down the opposite of love is not hate, it's fear.
That's right.
Hate is a byproduct of fear.
That's right.
And a lot of us are stifled by it. So I believe that book will be a good informative book for a lot of people and enlarge and enlighten their mind about, because a lot of people always say the opposite of love is hate. That's not true.
Right.
So to really get down to the core of this thing about fear and how fear brings about division and sickness and disease and a lot of other things that are happening in this world, I just wish we could combat it. But I know that's a whole nother book, something to combat fear. That's a whole nother book. But yeah, the next book is definitely going to be the Stifling Power of Fear. That's the title of the book.
That's powerful. You know, that's actually one of the main themes that I talked about and that we brought out in the play, the stage play that I just did. I know you didn't get an opportunity to come. My cousin Sine, she's on. I know she's one of the ones who was able to make it.
Yeah.
And I literally talked about that, how the opposite of love is not hate, but it's fear. And the Bible talks about how perfect love casts out all fear.
Yes.
And if you truly know and understand the love of God and tap into the love of God, then there's no room for fear. And
Yes.
in order to really operate in faith, the Bible says that faith worketh by love. And so your love walk and your love connection with God, the stronger it is, the more you can trust God, the more you can operate in faith, the more you can achieve your goals. And so I love that topic, and I know that's going to be an absolutely powerful book. The good thing about you have everything all set up. You've gone through the initial processes as a published author. You are a publisher. So let me tell you a little bit about our services at KishKnows. So we don't own any rights to the books that our authors do. And so that's something we choose to do, is to make sure we own no rights and we get no royalties from the sale of their books. So when you come to us, you become your actual publisher. You are the publisher of your book. So Carla is the publisher of her book. And so any proceeds now that come from the book, after she has it reprinted or whatever, paying for her printing costs, all that money goes right to her. And so that's a beautiful thing. What we are is we are what I call the publishing servicer, and we provide our publishing services. And so depending on the different type of customized packages that we have available, depends on your book. Once you come to us, what happens is we set you up. We can set you up where literally not only do you become the publisher, but you can actually go into your account and print your own books. Print your own books yourself. Your book is available on Amazon. You can see how many books you sold at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. I mean, there are about 39,000 entities that your book is available at. And so we give you the tools that you actually can use to market your book and we set you up for distribution. And so there are a lot of things that we have available to help you. I want you, if you're looking to publish a book, I want you to go check us out, get some free resources. If you're looking to get my how to write, finish, and publish a book, that is a webinar training that I have. You can sign up at KishKnows.com/publishing list, KishKnows.com/publishing list. And you can find out how to publish a book, or you can get some tremendous resources about book publishing that way at KishKnows.com/publishing list. Now, if you've already written your book, or if you're putting the finishing touches on it, and you're like Carla, you've been shopping around for publishers, and you're like, I need to know who I can come to. Well, you can have a free, that's right, free consultation call with me, a brief 15-minute info call where I can tell you a little bit about how we can help you find out more about your book. And then from there, we can see if you want more information to see if this will be a good fit for you. And so what you do is you fill out a brief form. It's about 5 questions. If you go to KishKnows.com/services, KishKnows.com/services, and that is how you can sign up for a free info call with me. So that's the first process. My team of people will get me that email. And of course, if the information that you put on there, now you can't be putting that you're Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse, and that you can't be answering the questions crazy. You got to answer the questions right if I'm going to take time to get on an info call with you. So they screen those emails, guys, before I get them. So make sure you're giving some valid, good answers so that we can know if you're serious about talking to me about publishing. So listen, Carla, let's give some last minute thoughts to us. What are some, before we get ready, we'll be wrapping up the call, and not the call, but the broadcast of tonight. Before we get off tonight, talk to us about any suggestions you might have to people out there who are looking to become published authors. What are some things that stick out in your mind that you just really think they should know?
First, they should steal away time alone to meditate, quiet their minds and their surroundings. The Bible says, "Peace be still and know that I am God." I want to add something to that. Peace be still and know who you are in God. If we don't do that, we kind of rob ourselves of opportunities to really soar and do beyond what we can imagine and what we can think. We need those still, quiet times where the noise is turned down. I know a lot of people have to work. We have to be mothers. We have to be fathers. We have to be bosses. It's so much on us in this world to do. But just like in the New Testament, Jesus stole away time and went on his own. We have to do the same thing. So it helps us to focus and redirect our thinking and hone in on our purpose and what we need to do in this earth. We don't have a lot of time to do it. So while we're still living, breathing, walking, talking, it's so important to steal away time and have that quiet time.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm in total agreement with that, because I have found that that's the reason why people are not really able to get focused and fulfill their God-ordained dreams and go after them and do what God is telling them to do, because there are just too many distractions. There are just way too many distractions. And so when you actually, the Lord took me away about 2-3 years ago. And that was the word that he gave me. I went away to Indiana to this little retreat center, and I just stayed a couple of days, just me. And he said, be still and know that I am God. And like you said, you will get to know who you are in God. And I think that's so key, that people are so distracted. Social media is a wonderful tool, but at the same token, it can be a distraction if we allow it to. And that will keep you from really honing in on what God is saying. But you're telling us
Yeah.
that one of the greatest things you can do if you want to be this writer, if you want to publish your book, if there are things that God is telling you that God has in your spirit that you want to materialize in the form of a book, you got to get still. You got to get quiet so you
Yeah.
can. And talk to us a little bit about meditation, because what does that mean? What does that mean to meditate and be able to hear God and then be able to write from what you hear?
So meditation for a believer is not, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not clearing your head and thinking about nothing. It's clearing your head from the clutter and hustle and bustle of everyday responsibility and focusing in on your creator. So meditation, AKA worship, it's that time to just really focus in on the Lord, the universe, the energy. People want to say it so many. I got to keep saying that because people refer to God in so many names. He's energy, he's power, he's the light. So you want to remove all the clutter, all the thoughts, and all of what we have to do. It's like you have to take everything off your schedule and focus in on the Lord, focus in on his love. Think on, like the Bible says, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are praiseworthy, you think on those things. That's meditation. That's what real meditation is. Because if you're thinking on things that are lovely and true and praiseworthy, you're thinking on things that bring life, that birth life, that waters life. So that's a good form of meditation.
So now tell us now one more time, because we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. How can we find out more about you and your book? Tell us about, show us the book and tell us about how we can find out more about you in the book. I'm holding it up over here on Periscope.
I am Carla Cool C on Facebook. My email is peacecoolcarla@yahoo.com. My name is Apostle Carla Boston on Instagram. And those are the three platforms that you can reach me on. On Facebook, you can inbox me. Or if we're not friends, send me a friend request. And we can connect that way. And shoot me an email. I check my emails every day, all day, because I use them for work. Again, that's peacecoolcarla@yahoo.com.
All right.
I'm also, wonderful. Of course, on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. But like I said, I prefer for people to connect with me directly to purchase the book.
Sounds great. Fantastic. Fantastic. Listen, I have thoroughly enjoyed our time here on tonight, and having Carla. What an awesome woman she is. And I'm so glad she reached out to me and allowed me to be a publishing servicer. We thank you, Carla. And so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up on tonight. I always like to say a special blessing over you all. And we're going to close out with a commercial or a couple of commercials here in just a moment. But listen, I want you to join me. We have other book publishing empowerments coming up. We're going to be talking about the writing process moving forward. We're going to have some of our awesome bloggers come on, as well as our other authors. We have some more authors that are going to be publishing their book. We have at least 3 more before the year is out, a total of 5, depending on how fast they move, because sometimes it takes people a little time to go through the process. But we have at least 5 more that are finishing up their books, and at least 3 that are going to publish their books or have their books published before the year is out. And we only have 2 more months here. So we look forward to coming back and doing some more of these book publishing empowerments, talking to you about the writing process and talking to you about the publishing process. I really appreciate you all, everybody who was on with us on tonight. So join us again. Normally we do our book publishing empowerments on Thursday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then for those of you all who follow me and you're a part of our doers empowerment, where we are doers of the word and not just hearers only, we're on every Wednesday evening for our midweek manna at 7:30 Central Standard Time as well. Listen, I appreciate you all. We're going to get ready to close out with the commercial, and until next time, happy publishing.
I don't know how to do this. I know I got a story. I know I got something to say. I know it's going to be great if I ever get into the hands of the right people. But I don't know how to do this. And I am so glad for people like Dr. Kitcha Coleman. My God, she took away all of the stress.
That is what makes KishKnows powerful. Because especially me being a first-time author, I don't feel blind. I don't feel alone. If there's ever a question that I have regarding this publishing process, any question I have, Pastor Keisha is available. She makes her